protective. Only two born my client is beach. Oh yeah, full of tender girls, yes. We are I love flying to Hawaii like a close to me. Got 5 hours to the land with an ocean breeze. See nigga views, good food, and the woman tender. Bay Area. To the islands with a culture blender.
Tell me something about the water.
It is oh so tender.
Are there beaches everywhere?
Take a drive and end up on the side of the road. Stop it is a must. Take a list.
Good evening. Welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. Welcome back. If you're a subscriber, we have James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews. It is on your screen so you can see he is here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do me a favor, y'all. We do all of our recaps together with the exception of my little BTV recaps. But I would like it if everyone would look into the description or look at his name, type it in, go subscribe to him. Go do it. We're always there. We're always there. Do it. He also has horror movie reviews and other types of interesting, things. Also, Beth says, hear ye, hear ye. Yes, subscribe to James. Anywho, we're here to go over Basketball Wives Orlando, VH1's newest part of the franchise of Basketball Wives, and this is season 1, episode 2. I like this show thus far. I'm not bored when I'm watching it. I'm invested even when there's no drama happening. Everyone's home life, for the most part, is kind of interesting, so I'm into it. So, as we saw me F up on the last slide, we're going to get it right this time. Ashley Snell is having a photo shoot. As we know, she does have a clothing line, Ashley Snell Collection. My God, I cannot talk. And she's having a grand reopening. She says her business is, I guess she started it after the pandemic, and that was difficult because the economy, as everyone knows, went through some things and is still going through some things from the pandemic. And so she wants to have a grand reopening for her business, which I actually think is smart, even just in general. I don't see why having events for your business is not smart, or at your business, because then you bring in business. So you feel me? I think that's good. We see her husband come through again. So he's going to be the husband that's always on camera. That's just what I got from that. I'm like, does he not have anything to do? He doesn't play basketball anymore?
I don't know. I didn't even feel the need to Google him. So I was like, okay.
I didn't either.
I was like, yeah, I'm going to say you're a free agent because he's given every bit of the black Corey Bierman that I've ever seen. So, I'm just saying, like,
if you know, you know. If you know
right.
about Corey, you know about Corey. Corey is he went brunette. Looks good, by the way.
Did he? I might have to look him up.
He did. So next thing we see, you guys, is Mackenzie, and Mackenzie and Nique. They share a baby daddy. But Mackenzie is going to be the topic of this episode a lot. So we see her with her children and her dad. She says she's very close to her parents. And I always say this on the Mrs. Best Reviews channel and on James's Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. I think that people who are super, super close with their parents are either going to be some of the best people you can know or some of the most damaged.
Yes.
I haven't met anyone that's in the middle yet. So she's close to her parents, and she reveals that she has a new relationship, but she wants to keep it a secret and private, which is weird because most people in a relationship or who are happy, I'm not saying you're going to be online like, I'm so happy I got my man, or my woman, no, but you're going to know when your friends in a relationship that's more, serious.
Especially if it's serious. Yeah, I was going to say, especially if it's serious. Something ain't right about her.
Yeah, something's off. Something's definitely off. And every time she talks to people who are logical, like her dad, she does this thing where she her eyes, she's like, it looks like she's just confused. So I don't know. The lights are on. No one's home with Mackenzie. Moving on, we see Morgan, and she takes her kids to a party. It looked like it was at her house though, but they have a birthday party for her daughter's 12th birthday. She has lots of family. It looks like she has a huge support system, which is good. And we see Lyndzie, our pregnant basketball wife, and Danielle, who is newer, come. So Basketball Wife editors this season on both shows. I said this on the Basketball Wives LA recap. The way they're introducing cast members is just trifling as hell. So we see Danielle and we learn that she is basically going through a breakup. She was in a relationship with someone who still plays in the league for 8 years. They have children together. They are going through a breakup. And Danielle basically ends up asking about Ashley, which was weird, but I'm like, okay, I guess she wants to know. We did Nique come with her kids, and Nique says she was surprised that Mackenzie and her dude let her bring their son. So she came with her son as well as Mackenzie and her dude's son. So I thought that was good because it shows there's actual progress in Mackenzie wanting to make peace, which I think Mackenzie wants to make peace. And we'll get into this some more later. She seemed like the type of chick that get a man and gets so obsessed with him and everything in his world and then entirely forgets about it, because you went from bitter to not giving a damn real quick for what is happening. Made no sense. So we find out some things about Mackenzie from this new girl, Danielle. She says that Mackenzie slept with her baby daddy. And she says it in a way that leads me to believe that she slept with her baby daddy while she was with the baby daddy. And it seems like her baby daddy didn't know how to be faithful to her. So usually when that happens, we've slept around. And a lot of these ball players are passing around and recycling the same woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what happens.
It just happens that way, because you have to understand that's something familiar, and you have to watch basketball players. Like when you read like basketball players who've had books, it kind of makes sense when they hear the dynamics that, oh my God, I used to belong to somebody else, now you just slept with my girl and everything like that. It makes sense because their mindset is they only sleep with women they're familiar with and want relationships with women they're familiar with. And it's like, that's so strange to me.
I think it's something our income bracket doesn't allow us to understand, because
and that was what I was going to say too, because there's no way
there's no way in hell.
There's no way I'm going to recycle somebody else's person. Like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I actually had a friend, somebody we went to high school with, who had a whole child with an ex-boyfriend of mine. So, and then I've seen her actually date a lot of other people's like exes and things like that. So I'm some people do that.
Granted, Hayward is small, so and there's not much.
This was. Listen, the ex for me makes sense because we all went to high school together. But then doing it to people, I guess, from our schools, new exes that did not go to our school. So then it became like this area thing.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say
it became like a Bay Area thing to where people were like hitting me up like, I hope you're not friends with this person. And I'm like, whoa.
But I tell y'all, in high school, these women used to fight over the same 3 dudes. It was like a small town where you ain't had nobody. It really, and it was funny because it was like the women who had men, they had been in like way different area codes. It was like they were far from this because they didn't want to deal with that. So
that's a fact. My husband,
girls used to
in high school. I went to school in Hayward. I went all the way to Oakland to find somebody. Because
it was like girls got tired of fighting over them same 3 dudes, and I was like, I don't know why y'all girls did that in the first place. To me, that was stupid.
I didn't understand it. I didn't. He said the same 3 dudes.
It was the same 3 dudes.
I cannot. All right, but here's the thing. To bring it back to the topic, the fact that we have to compare the way that this group of people dates to high school, I don't want to.
It's like no, because and the reason why I said that, and I said that with great meaning, it seems like 2 of the women were connected to one other, either baby daddy, husband, or boyfriend of someone else, and it was like, okay, how Mehgan sleep with Morgan, or not? She didn't say sleep. Let me take that back. Allegedly, why? Because Mehgan connected to Morgan. Ashley brought women around Morgan's husband to sleep with. And then we have Mackenzie. She was top. It was like, okay.
No, Mackenzie's a hot mess, because we find out, after we find out Mackenzie slept with Danielle's baby daddy, we also find out that Danielle's baby daddy may be the man that Mackenzie is talking about hiding. then we also go a little further, and then we find out that the way that Danielle found out was through a DM that she thinks Mackenzie sent, and Mehgan thinks Mackenzie sent. And it seemed like everybody thinks Mackenzie sent, because I guess she has a history of these things.
Very childish.
And Danielle says that Mackenzie is telling people that Mackenzie and Danielle's baby daddy are in love. But Danielle says, how is that possible? They've only known each other 3 months. And some of the months I was still with them. So,
I don't know, because 3 months is not a short period, but it's not a long period. I feel like I could fall
3 months is pretty quick to fall in love.
No, I disagree.
You disagree?
I disagree.
Wow.
Just because I've done it. So that's why I can say I disagree. I feel like
I can't say I've done that as an adult, but I don't count. So,
well, no, you do count. It's not that I'm saying it's not impossible, is what I'm saying. I'm not now whether or not it's logical, probably not. But it's not impossible, because you don't know. You could meet somebody and they change your whole perspective of what you thought you liked and what you thought you wanted, and you realize, oh my God, this seems so much better. And when they introduce you to that, there is a fallingness that your mind does have. And then depending on the intimacy and the loyalty and the, transparency of that person, it could be that, oh my God, like I really am falling, and it's month 3. So it's definitely possible. Now, with this young lady in mind, I think that she wears her heart on her sleeves, and I think she's weak-willed. So it may not be that she's in love. It just may be that she may just love every man up until she finds a reason not to love him. And that's usually how a lot of women operate, unfortunately.
Well,
you do it backwards.
I think that in the case of Mackenzie, it's definitely illogical thinking. Illogical, not logical, illogical. She does not have logic, but it's just a hot mess. Basically, Danielle says that Mackenzie messed around with her baby daddy while they were still together, and that it overlapped. She also says that she refuses to co-parent with somebody who doesn't have a ring, which I got that she was trying to be clever and throw shade, but like,
when you say it, it makes it different, because
they don't want to co-parent with someone who doesn't have a ring. I'm like, you do realize you don't have one either, right?
Yeah, because it was funny, because at first I was like, because in my mind when she said that, I was like, yeah. But then when I thought about it, I was like, where the fuck was your ring?
There's a lot of things.
Because when you said, I was like, wait a minute. You right. Like, how you gonna have some standard for somebody?
Yeah, we gonna be on your side, but at the same time, there's a lot of single parents globally. So we can't assume that just because they don't have a ring, that they are not of value or cannot help in co-parenting.
Right. And the thing about it is that Danielle, you didn't have a ring either, sweetheart. You didn't have legal binding paper with the man you were with. So you can't have that standard for the next person if that's not something you've obtained from that person either.
Facts.
That's called a double standard.
Yep. But she seems very immature. I will say that about Danielle. She seems
immature
and problematic. Most of them do, but I think Danielle, out of everyone, I can see Danielle, hell, even Mackenzie on like.
I also say Mackenzie, don't throw Mackenzie.
Like Love and Hip Hop.
And throw Ashley up in there too.
Yeah, I can see them on
those immature women.
Yeah.
Like I said, every girl on here seems like they were on Bad Girls Club at one time or another. I'm still when I tell y'all, I've been Googling the hell out of these women.
Let me tell you this. They are proof. Just because you have a child don't mean that man gonna give you a ring and stay faithful. And 2, just because you're a mother or pretty doesn't make you the most intelligent. Anyhow, let's move it along. We see, it's true. We see Mulan, the girl with the diaper booty, baby L. She's so pretty, and I wish she didn't do that because it looked heavy. At first, I was like,
"Oh, it looked like she can't." It looked like she can't carry it. It looked like it leaks. It looks like
it leaks. Oh my god!
Yeah,
do asses leak? Do
It
booties
can,
leak?
like, it can, like, whatever the fuck is in her ass could try to seep out through the skin. Yeah, we've seen it happen. You didn't watch K Michelle's show on Lifetime
I did, but
where
I'm like,
you didn't
that's
see the episode where
I thought that she was like a rare case. I didn't know people's asses
no,
were so
like
sensitive.
sometimes it is a rare case, but just because it's rare doesn't mean it can't always happen. Like rare is like we're saying 1 out of 10. So 1 out of 10 people who get a BBL, this could happen. Mind you, there are hundreds of thousands of women that are getting BBLs. So if we're saying hundreds of thousands, that's at least 100 women that are going to have asses where that shit tries to come about you. So it depends
I
on what
just
she put in her
know
ass.
for those who have children, if you ever took your child to the beach when they were between the ages, we'll say 0 to, well, not 0 because you don't want no child that small. We'll say 6 months to 3 years old. If they had a pull up or they pamper and they get in the water, it does this thing where you feel all those little beads and you see it puff up. It looked like Mulan's booty. That's how I feel. But I like Mulan, oddly, because I feel like of everyone on the cast thus far, she seems the least problematic, and it seems like she has this storyline
Um,
of some sort. I'm talking about in the drama with the ladies in terms of
Okay, because I was gonna say
Mulan.
no, 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 no. I feel like it's coming. I feel like there's something about her that I am not going to
Something's
like.
coming is definitely a slow build, but we do see her doing basketball content, which she states she does. She is the girlfriend to Bolo, the Bobo, not Bolo. Oh my God, that's the stripper. That's the stripper from the Housewives. Oh Jesus! Why did I do this live, y'all? I should have had some coffee. I need a caramel macchiato with some extra shots and almond milk for real. Anywho, we see she is the girlfriend to Bobo. He is the tallest player right now in the NBA, so that's pretty cool. Anywho, she says that her content creation has helped her life, and we find out that she has 13 siblings, 7 on her mom's side and 6 with her dad. I said, ooh, I have.
Girl, your family was busy as hell. God
I got
damn.
3 other siblings and a deceased stepsister, RIP, and that was a lot. But like, whew, I can't imagine. Anyhow, I'm just kind of like she's not interacting with the women so much, so I want to see her interact a little bit more. But I get the feeling that she's not, is because it seems like she's doing a lot. So we'll move on from Mulan. We see Mehgan and Danielle meet, which bad idea. If y'all watch Mehgan on the Bad Girls Club, you know that she'll like sweetly cause problems. So you really do kind of got to watch her. But Mehgan brings up how she did not like that Lyndzie brought up the fact that Mehgan was messing with Morgan's ex because she felt like Lyndzie was trying to make her look like she's some sort of a home wrecker, basically. And Megan's like, it wasn't even like that. We just had dinner. And Danielle then goes into her own situation. She explains that her ex, Rashad, he has their kids for the entire summer, and she's a little, lonely because she's missing her children. And she seemed annoyed at the fact that he has a new girlfriend, which is weird to me. It's just very weird to me. I'm like, maybe the co-parenting comment came from that. Is the new girlfriend easy? Like, what is going on? The story's everywhere. First, it was Mackenzie's telling people they're in love, and you said it's your baby daddy. But now you're saying your baby daddy has a girlfriend. So is it a timeline thing, or is the baby daddy just truly a dog? And
I think it's both.
oh,
I think it's both. I think he's a dog, and I think that it is a timeline thing. I think honestly, because, and this is what I want women to get. This is why I hate when women get mad at other women. If you do not have legal binding paperwork, regardless if it matters or not to men, because sometimes that doesn't even matter. But when you have legal binding paper, it makes you a little less crazy when he goes out there and decides to lay his soul's wild oats to someone else. Now, see, at this point right now, you look crazy because you were never his wife. He's still single. That's the law. So you have to understand something. You can't take your morals and then place it on somebody else who doesn't have the same morals. And I think that's what a lot of you women do out here, is that you take the morals that you've encompassed in your life and try to hold people accountable and hostage to those same morals, who probably didn't grow up you doing that same thing. And that's when you get your feelings hurt. And that's when you get hurt yourself. And it's like, no, if you say from the beginning, before you give him any of your high parts, you say, look, cheating is unacceptable under any circumstances. The moment you do it, I am gone. And stick to it. And if you have to be gone, hey, you have to be gone. That wasn't the one for you. Move on. But y'all women don't want to do that. That's so silly to me.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he's giving y'all wisdom. He's giving y'all wisdom. So we do see and find out that Danielle is in therapy with her baby daddy to assist with co-parenting, which is good. I'm not even going to call it.
You thought, yeah, about to say, did you think the therapy session was good? No. Did that man say 2 words?
We did. The thing of it is, it's just, I don't really care. I feel like there's so many people coming on reality TV right now trying to get sympathy for their fucking single parent, broken up, co-parent, whatever the hell you want to call a situation. It's like, you're not a diamond in the rough. I'm sorry. There are a lot of fucking people going through this. And I want to see something else, because people who are rich, people who are poor, people who are fucking royalty are dealing with single parenting and co-parenting. Okay.
Right.
I'm tired of them coming on here as if that's good enough to be a fucking storyline. It's not. And then she comes on here crying about it as he's taking care of the kids for the summer. So you're just mad and still want this man, Danielle.
And instead of you just saying that, you're trying to put it off on him instead of just saying, look, I wasn't ready to leave the relationship. I wasn't ready for it to end.
I hope she's getting individual therapy, because
yeah, she needs it, because y'all women, I think another thing women need to start doing is start being honest about how you really feel, and stop hiding your emotions, because you think that if you show them, that's just going to push him further away. When truth be told, he was already pushed further away from the beginning. You understand, men are not built like the men in the 50s and 60s that stood by you regardless, because they probably had their parents tell you they had no choice. You got her pregnant, you got to marry her. Men are not built like that anymore. Men are built that when they get tired and bored of you, they can just go get somebody else. And sometimes some men's attention span of boredom is different than others, and that's just really is. And I tell you this all the time. I honestly think that cheating is a taught tendency. I really do, because men brains are very visual. So that's I do. True. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true. Psychology says that too. There's a theoretical and psychoanalytic perspectives that actually talk about that with men. So that's he's not just talking out his ass. That's why I say that. Anywho, outside of her, Mehgan then explains at this lunch that Mackenzie is the one who's been spreading the rumors, because she wants to get to the bottom of who the hell told Lyndzie, how did this get to Lyndzie that I was with Morgan's ex. And she finds out that it was Mackenzie, and then the editors and production show that it was Mackenzie. We get the receipts. So that should be interesting, because later on we'll see how that is addressed. So then we meet Nique Nicole, who for true VH1 fans should recognize her from Black Ink Crew Chicago, which no longer exists. She was the girlfriend to Four for many years, and then the world saw his little wee-wee, and they suddenly broke up, and she got into dating ballers and all of these things. So, yeah, we meet Nique Nicole, and she's gained some weight, but she appears like way thicker than she was before. I don't know what's going on with that, but
I don't have a thought in mind, but I just can't get past you saying we saw his little wee wee, and girl, you is killing me. You is killing me.
All over the internet, and people clowned him. It was really tiny. James, we can't see my finger, but it was tiny.
Really?
It was tiny.
But see, was it the angle?
He was excited, and it was tiny.
Was it the angle?
What you mean the angle?
Because people said the same thing about Lil Fizz, and then when you look at it from a different angle, it actually was not as small as people thought it was.
But still smaller.
Well, no, it was smaller than what I've seen most light skinned dudes have. But I'm just saying, like, But what I'm saying is, dang, four. Okay, I mean,
That's what happened. So that's Nikki Nicole. I'm like, look at her. So I guess after 4, she dated some ball players, and yeah, she's on the show. So we'll see how that works. Looks like she knows Mehgan. So I don't know.
not surprised there because they the same person to me.
They are going to be 3 messy stooges. I can already
Yep.
sense it. But Lyndzie does end up at this meeting as well, and Mehgan does address Lyndzie about it, and Lindsay's like, I can be aggressive. I was just asking you, says all this stuff. Lyndzie, you know you was being messy. I do think you can be aggressive though, but you know you was being messy. I think she was being messy.
She was being messy, but at the same time, I'm not mad at it because we had to push the storyline. Because one thing I know Mehgan would have done if she had not done this, Mehgan was going to let everybody else's mess go ahead and hit the forefront without her own stuff out there. So that's why I was like, I don't like her, but I wasn't mad at her because it was like, yeah, we need to push this agenda. You're not gonna not get your hands dirty just because you the center of the circle. To me, the center of the circle is Morgan. But we're gonna play Mehgan because she knows Shawnee O'Neal, and we're gonna make it seem like that. But it seems like Morgan is the connector because Morgan knows everybody on this cast.
Morgan is definitely the connector. I figured that out quickly, but she's not well known enough to
right, exactly, to push it on. So that's
mehganj is known, but anyhow. Oh, I done lost my spot on this doggo thing. Morgan and Mackenzie then meet. There were a whole lot of meetings. It was just like an edit to a meeting, then move on. Edit to a meeting, move on. There were so many group meetings. At least these women are willing to like film with each other, though, compared to the LA women. You got to have the fucking creator of the show come on just to get the bitches to eat dinner. I can't figure it out. So Morgan and Mackenzie meet, and Morgan basically says that she doesn't want to be cool with Mackenzie because she's friends with Ashley. As she should. I don't want to be friends with nobody that's friends with my enemy. No, thank you. We just don't have to talk. We don't have to have a beef. We don't have to nothing. So Morgan ended up leaving, and as always, Mackenzie ended up looking lost. I don't really feel like that interaction, there's too much to comment on and say.
There wasn't, no.
Because I'm just like, Mackenzie just looked lost. She always looked lost. She was like, I'm like, girl, stop blinking so slow. I'm like, what's wrong with you, Mackenzie?
It's not rocket science, baby. Come on now. What is we doing here?
Yeah, she doesn't want to be your friend because you're friends with her enemy. You're not willing to not do that. So that means you're not willing to have a friendship. So really the whole meeting was redundant. I didn't understand why they even needed to meet. That had to either be for the show or because that lost look in Mackenzie's face confirms what I think about her brain, which is that the lights are on and nobody is there. Kind of like Motel 6. Someone left the light on, but
shout out to Motel 6.
Shout out to them.
I've stayed at a Motel 6 before, so
I have to. I think we all have.
It was kind of like the last resort. It was a road trip, so
road trip, you got 2 options, 3: the Comfort Inn, the Motel 6, or a Best Western of some sort. It's just how it goes. Anywho, we see Mulan. And she's FaceTiming her little sisters, 2 of her little sisters who are, it looks like the younger ones because she's got so many siblings. So she
I was going to say she has a lot of siblings. So it was hard to tell which ones those were.
We see 2 of her little sisters. We find out, I guess they stole a car and went to Miami, and they look so young. I'm like, they look so young. We find out that
confused by that story.
They're bad as hell, James. He said he didn't understand.
I didn't understand that because I was like, wait, what? When they said that, I said, wait, what? Y'all did what?
They bad as hell. I'm looking and I'm just like,
because I'm like, well, where is the parents in this situation?
So she explained that. So Mulan had a brother who was murdered, and she says that her mom has been going through a lot mentally because of that. So it sounds like It sounds like
the mom checked out.
Recently. Which losing a kid is you're not supposed. Your kids are supposed to bury you, not the other way around. So I can understand how that can be wrong. So she says she wants to bring her sisters to Orlando for the summer because she thinks it'd be good for them. It might, but But what happens when they go back?
I was gonna say, yeah. What happens when? Because that's the thing. You have to understand that that's going to release a trauma into them that you're not going to be prepared to handle. Because what they're going to feel like is that the only sanity of peace that they've had since mom has checked out could be you. So I would think that because she is a little bit more financially stable, that she would have, offered to take custody until the mom sought out, better help or a retreat or something to help get her through the grief that she needs to. And that's one of the things that, I mean, I'm glad all my siblings are grown, but when I tell you, like, me being the oldest, I was prepared at any moment to take my siblings, no matter what happened to the state of my parents. Like, I was prepared at any moment. So luckily, nothing happened to my parents, but I'm just saying it's not fair. But at the same time, if you want to see them in a better place and you don't want them to go through being lost in society, meaning stealing cars and doing time in juvenile hall and things like that, then you need to kind of put your stance and say, hey, I need to step in because these are still human beings that still need guidance. So, it's hard to say, but I would rather people do that than just to let society take over and just ruin it.
I agree. So I think that's commendable what she's trying to do, but I pretty much agree with everything that James said. So I'm not going to continue going over like to a fucking 150%. Basically, the next thing we see is Ashley's grand opening, which finally happens. I thought they did a good job on this show versus the other Basketball Wives of kind of like giving each. They showed the conversations, stuff happens, they get resolved, people chat, but then we also get to see a little bit of home life, a little bit of business. So they do good with that. So we see the grand opening, her grand reopening that she discussed at the beginning of this episode is finally happening. So Mehgan, Nique, and Mackenzie are there. And Mehgan explains when she arrives that she invited Danielle, which was tacky. You should have checked before when you had your invite or, with the phone number of this girl that you have. You should have fucking checked with her. Is this okay thing? The reason I say that is because Mehgan already had a +1, which was Nique Nicole. So,
Exactly.
Tacky. Anywho, Danielle ends up coming and Mehgan goes outside to meet her. And Danielle's like, whoa, what's this about? And she basically tells her, like, you're going to need to behave, and Mackenzie's in there and all of these things. So she comes in, and as soon as Danielle entered, the energy changed, in my opinion, in the room. I saw people who weren't really on camera looking like, what the hell? It's just when you carry yourself a certain way or when you have a feeling about something, that translates to your energy. Other people can pick up on that and sense that. And even without you saying something, you can look all sorts of crazy, which she did.
Right.
So when she comes in, she speaks to Ashley about how she's friends with Morgan, which I'm like, why are you bringing up Morgan? Why does that matter?
It was like, it's like, are you trying to make a splash somewhere on the show so you can be guaranteed a season 2? Like, I'm trying to figure out why in God's green earth would you sit up there and mention this young lady when you know they don't get along? They're not friends anymore. First of all, I don't see how any of y'all could have showed up to her event knowing what this lady has. Well, I don't think they knew that she admitted to that yet. Maybe I'm speaking out of term a little bit.
It doesn't matter for all of them if they knew. As for Danielle, I don't understand why she showed up because she's really, really close to Morgan. So I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Why did you even come? It doesn't make sense. And then the other thing is Morgan just ended a friendship with Mackenzie for being friendly with Ashley, but she's okay with Danielle being friendly with Ashley and going to her.
I don't think she knows. To be honest with you, I don't think she knows. I don't think she knows that Danielle showed up on that, like trying to get on camera, trying to show up to this girl's events. I think that for me, because I'm trying to put that in context of real life. And what real life, if I'm really close with you, that I can sit there and go to someone who I know you don't mess with's party, and not tell you that I'm going. I'm just going. Because
I
I don't
feel like
think
I'm
Morgan.
not going to stop you, but I at least want to know.
You at least want to know. Exactly. I don't think Morgan knew that she was going to that party. I really don't think she knew. Because I think if she knew, I think Morgan would have expressed her reservations, and I think we would have caught that on camera.
Well, we see her go to Morgan's house after this party.
We do.
That's why I'm like, and I'm like, did they edit something? I don't know what the hell's going on.
That's what I'm saying. I know she went to Morgan's house, but I'm just saying, did Morgan really know in the context that she went to this girl's event? Because unless Morgan sent her on her behalf, that's the only other thing I can think of.
It was just very strange. But
yeah, it was.
She does say, Danielle does tell Ashley that she's going to form her own opinions and not allow her friendship and the things that she knows to disrupt anything. But it's like by you bringing that up, I just thought that was weird.
By you bringing that up, you kind of, it's a catch-22 now because you did exactly what you said you weren't going to do. So,
exactly. And I'm looking at Ashley and her response is the one thing Ashley's done that I like. She was just like, thank you. That's all. Because homegirl full of shit. I don't trust Danielle at all. But,
I don't trust Danielle, but I also don't trust Ashley more. So it's kind of like,
I don't trust. Yeah, I can agree. I can definitely agree there. So we basically end up seeing that Mackenzie and Danielle do end up speaking. They try to get them to speak. And Danielle basically says she's not talking to a side bitch. And as Mackenzie tries to, that's fine. Whenever you're ready, and I've got receipts of him calling you the side bitch too. And I'm just like, Danielle, you could have left it there, say, and moved it there. They just asked you not to talk or do nothing crazy at this party. So what do? You come in and do something crazy. You're not with the man. You're in therapy with him, trying to figure out how to co-parent your kids, and you say that he has a whole new girlfriend. So stop. But then she also confesses, oh, he's super manipulative. He texts me like he still wants me. Yeah, you have kids together. He's always going to text you that way.
I swear, Danielle must be short for delusional. Because for me, when I listen to her say all those things and texting, it's like, y'all women really have not caught on to that by now. Men use y'all as access. Mm-hmm. I still got you around my finger if I wanted to, and all you could do is just sit there. You better not bring no other man around my babies. You better not do nothing. Your life is on park until I put it in drive. That is how men think.
She has to realize too, you're not winning a fight by saying to somebody like, he still want me, when you had him and he didn't want you. He stepped out.
Because if he wanted you, he would still be with you.
It's not a prize that a cheater wants you.
It's not a prize. Yeah, exactly. It's not a prize. And then also you don't look any better than Mackenzie. At the end of the day, you don't look any better than she does. You look just as crazy and delusional. Just as crazy and delusional.
Mackenzie, though, I'm like, when they did the little diagram of all the people that usually it's one player and like a bunch of bitches. No, in this case, it's one female and a bunch of players. So I'm just like, Mackenzie, maybe your husband's not in the NBA. Maybe try the NFL. No, because they
no. Yeah, I'm about to say no. Yeah. You don't want to
find like a golf player. Then again,
no, I don't think she should do that. I think, you know what? Because they're younger, I honestly think that they're easier to manipulate, and I think they're more faithful. I think she should try hockey. Because they're a lot younger and a lot easier to contain, and a lot of them do stay faithful. They may lose their teeth, but you know what? That's all right. That's okay. They always get some veneers. Like, you ain't got to worry about that. But I'm just saying, like, I'm being for real. Like, I'm being for real. They do lose their teeth. That's common. We all know this. It's a very easy thing to do. But what I'm saying is that if y'all want some faithful men, try hockey. Try, also another sport, rugby, because those men are very affectionate. They show it to, each other. They're very, loving. So so I imagine that could be something you should try. Like, stop trying NBA. Y'all women really, because the money is guaranteed, that there's more of a lenience, and doing like NBL is harder because a lot of them go into the league married. So it's kind of hard, and they're less likely to cheat. Like, it was like, I never heard stories of like NBL except Carl Crawford or whatever and stuff. I don't think they cheat as much. So that's why I'm like, I think NBA cheats because the access is there. It's harder for them to scout from the dugout. Females in the
That's
stadium.
true.
It's harder.
I feel like
It's
that's
hard.
true.
It's harder. So yeah, just try hockey first. Mackenzie, try hockey first. Get you a nice little young 25-year-old that got a good net worth. And some
Problem is too, I don't think she realized you sleeping with all these men on these leagues and making enemies of their women, girlfriends, baby mamas and stuff. Eventually you're gonna run out of contenders. But we gonna move on from Mackenzie. Huh? Go ahead.
It reminds me of Laura Govan, though. I don't know why.
It is giving Laura Govan.
It's even Laura Govan. Yeah, it
You're
is.
right. You're
It
right.
does. She is given. I don't know what it is about her, but when I look at her, that's who I see. I'm going to hell, yeah. I'm sorry.
It's okay. The truth is the truth. So the next thing we see is Danielle curtsy on over to Morgan's house because she leaves after causing us, just making a stir. And basically, I can say that Morgan and Danielle are still in the process of healing, and they're both very hurt by their exes. But specifically with Danielle, this man can date. She seems bothered by the fact that her ex is dating. He can date. You're not together. And the same to you, Morgan. You're not together. They can do what they want. Now, it doesn't negate the pain that they caused you. It sucks to be cheated on. I have been there, but you guys got to get therapists. Going and crying with your friend who's also been cheated on may help you get some stuff out in that moment. But if it really damages you to where it's impacting your perspective on, how you date, how you view dating, or impacting how you're handling friendships, having issues with people who done something with somebody you're not with no more, that's when you need to step aside and say, look, this is damaging because being cheated on is fucking traumatic. And it's okay. When people go through trauma, they need a little help. So seek help from those who are certified, not in the same pain, because it can become something that's unhealthy. But that is pretty much all that happened on this episode of Basketball Wives Orlando. I am definitely enjoying this new franchise of thy series. I think they're doing good. I like that it's so weird to have a bunch of basketball wives and stuff around our age. It's like, oh.
Well, no, it's to me, I agree to that, but what I'm gonna say is that it gives a whole nother perspective of like how nothing has changed in that, sentiment. Like, they're still cheating, and it's because a lot of you women don't require much from these men, and that's crazy. It's like, and then it's like y'all want all this control. It's so weird, and I'm just at a point where I'm just like, I don't even know what to tell y'all anymore. Look, dude, do better. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that is it for season 1, episode 2 of Basketball Wives Orlando. I appreciate the people who are here watching, who've hung in there. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you like the video, feel free to like the video. If you don't like the video, feel free to comment feedback. We always take constructive feedback. Feel free to also comment your opinions even when we are no longer live. If you're watching the live replay, if you comment and it's a month away, I will respond. I want to hear your opinions and how you guys feel about this new franchise. But other than that, we are done with the recap. The next live I will have will be in about 15 minutes. I will be having our weekly song review where Also Best, aka Mr. Best, my husband, will be helping me to co-host and listen to some good tracks by artists. But I hope everybody enjoys their night, and we will be back again next week. Thank you, James.
Thank you for having me. Have a good night. Enjoy your new song review. Sorry.
I'll try, child.
See you later.
Bye.